Hello, the internet. This is Bonsai and Beer. I'm Brandomical. Today, we are going to wire up this problem child Christmas tree and review a Belgian Tripel that's made in Blanco, Texas. So, let's get started. Today's beer, I am happy to say, is the Real Ale Brewing Company Devil's Backbone Belgian Style Tripel. What they do with the Belgian Style Tripel is they triple all of the ingredients, triple the malt, triple the hops, and so all the flavors of beer are here, super, super strong. And also, because there's 3 times the ingredients, that means more alcohol. The signature flavor of all of these Belgian style beers, and what makes them, I would say, Belgian style, why you can even put that on the label, is they use these Eastern European yeasts. And it's a very unique flavor. It tastes like beer, but with this Eastern European yeast. This is very similar to what you'd get at a craft brewing company that does a Belgian style right in-house, and even very similar to what you'd get if you actually went to Europe, because they've imported these yeasts. It's the same yeasts. The flavors are incredibly strong. The alcohol is incredibly strong. The Texan history is incredibly strong. So be careful when you drink these because they can sneak up on you. Now, let's wire up some bonsai. Okay, so here is our problem child. As my stepdaughter said, why do we have a whole ass Charlie Brown tree on our back porch? Well, I'll tell you. First of all, when I got the tree, I tried to bonsai it by removing the leaves and leaving them just at the ends. And then I was gonna let these other parts grow out in case these didn't develop exactly right. But this is what you wanna see. You wanna see that the ends are branching out, and that's gonna develop into a tuft of foliage in the future. Remember, bonsai is a years-long process, okay? So this has only been a year, and 20 years is like nothing in bonsai. So this is a process. Now, we've got problems here. See how the branches are going up? That's not a bonsai thing. These branches need to be kind of going down. I put these weights, they are Christmas tree ornaments, yes, but they were supposed to be weights that bring the branches down. And at first they were working, but now the tree has become too strong. It's in its growing season and the branches are going up. These aren't gonna work anymore. They gotta go. So I had 2 of them. Yeah, it's gotta go. You're gone. Now we've got another problem. Look at this. That is brown. That's not good. That means that probably the pH of the soil is wrong. So the tree is not growing and developing the way that it should. I have cut some of the branches off that died completely, and those are healing. So those are ugly wounds that are not done. The tree has been wired once before. All of these were wired before, but when I took the wire off, it came back up. The only one that's still there is the one that's out of focus, the one that's on the top here. And that is a false top, just like we did with the cypress over here. Last week, we wired the top to go up. So what we have now is this project where we're going to have to wire all of these branches into a bonsai-like form so that as the tree continues to grow and it makes its tufts of foliage, the branches will also grow in a downward shape that simulates a large tree. So let's wire it up. Murata-sensei says, wiring begins at the base of the tree and moves upward. So let's do that. Behold the finished product. Our juvenile tree is in the shape of an adult. You can tell it's a juvenile from this foliage here. There are a couple of adult leaves starting to show up. That's these longer ones. But as a juvenile, it has these short bluish leaves, very sensitive bark. I was super careful not to cut into that. You can cut into that stuff very easily. And I had to rewire the top. You can see here's some scarring from the previous wiring because this was getting bigger. So I rewired it. That way the tree will be able to continue to grow in an adult shape, and we'll remove those wires soon. Now our problem is this browning, which means that the soil pH is wrong, which means it's time to repot this thing. Use some soil acidifier, some fertilizer, and a bonsai pot. Now you're probably wondering, how do you take something that's in this sort of a tall pot like this and get it in this flat pot like this? They're totally not even the same thing. Well, first of all, we're gonna remove some of this topsoil and expose this root ball. So we might get 1/2 inch here on the top because we want that to be on display when this gets into this pot. So that'll shallow it out a little bit. But the second thing we're gonna do, I'm gonna do another time lapse here. You're gonna see me remove this from this pot. And I'm gonna put it in some water and I'm gonna get the dirt out. I'm gonna suss the roots out. And when we put it in here, we're gonna try and lay those roots flat, okay? We splay them out and try and get them flat so this thing grows in this tray style pot, which is what bonsai means, tree in a tray. So we're gonna replace the soil with a mix of peat moss, soil acidifier, some minerals, some fertilizer, splay it out, wire it down, cover it with the expanded shale, that bonsai soil, which are those rocks you'll see me put down. So that's what's going on. That's how you go from a tall, normal potted plant into a flat tray for bonsai. My, folks, I think we've got ourselves a bonsai tree here. Yes, it's wired up, ready to go. I consulted a book. It said that I should mount it sort of back and to one side of an oval pot so it's not just right in the center. Added some crystal here and some quartz. It's got the right soil, the right pot. Now all it has to do is grow. And maybe in 7 to 20 years, this is gonna be just a gorgeous bonsai. Thanks again, everybody, for coming and watching today. I hope that you have yourself a nice beer. I hope that you get yourself some great trees and do some bonsai of your own. And I will see you next week. This is Brandomical signing off for Bonsai and Beer.